My name is Nain Murphy and my brother is Audie L. Murphy, who was the most honored soldier in World War II. The most honored soldier in U.S. history died in a plane crash in 1971. But that's not the puzzle. Everyone knew something that Audie Murphy kept from them for 26 years. His family slept in the house, but he lived in his own basement. Every night, he slept with a gun under his pillow. He gambled away $3 million and no one knew about it. The government looked into him. In court, his wife asked for $10 million. It's not important to know how he died. This is the reason the man who killed 241 enemy soldiers was afraid to sleep in his own bed. His family was barely able to stay alive when he was born in Kingston, Texas, on June 20, 1925. She was the seventh of 12 children. People knew his father more for going missing than for giving. He was there one day and not there the next. Audie, who was only 12, had to take care of the house because of this. He quit school when he was in the 5th grade and began picking cotton for $1 a day. Today, that amounts to about $23. That little money had to feed a lot of kids. For a kid, it was the worst thing that could happen, but no one else could do it. The blow that would change him for good then came. Audie's mother, Josie, died of asthma and heart disease in 1941, when he was only 16 years old. She was only 50 years old. His 3 youngest brothers were then taken away and put in an orphanage. Audie was not left with anyone else. He was never the same after that loss. He once said, "She took something from me. I've been looking for it ever since." He felt empty for a long time. He started to fill it by taking risks, which was the only way he knew how. Before the army even gave him a gun, he already knew how to stay alive. He learned how to shoot from hunger. Since there were not many bullets, each shot had to be important. He made sure his brothers ate when he wasn't there. He used a slingshot and a borrowed rifle to kill rabbits and squirrels. Someone next door used to say that Audie never missed. He was so good at aiming that it was the only thing he could control in his life. He would become one of the most dangerous soldiers in World War II thanks to that skill. He killed at least 240 enemy troops by the end of the war. But no one wanted him when he first tried to join. He was too thin and small. He was only 5 feet 5 inches tall and weighed only 112 pounds. They turned down the Marines. No, the Navy said. The Army didn't want him to fight either. They tried to send him to cooking school. But Audie wasn't going to fight and fry eggs at the same time. To make himself look older, his sister helped him fake a birth certificate. The Army finally gave up. He started on June 30th, 1942. He was only 17 years old. His anger that had been building up for years could finally be let out when he joined the war. In July 1943, he killed his first people in Sicily. 2 officers from Italy on horses tried to get away. Both were taken out by Audie with 2 clean shots. He was 18 years old. He got malaria that same week, but he kept fighting. All through the war, the sickness kept coming back. He always said he didn't want to stay in the hospital for long. He always went back to the front. He walked into hell at Anio, Italy, in the beginning of 1944. The beachhead turned into a butcher shop. Many thousands died. People at Audie said it made them feel like they were running away from the law of averages. You were sure that your number would soon be there. He crawled through enemy fire on March 2nd, got close to a German tank, and destroyed it with rifle grenades by himself. He got a Bronze Star for that. More than awards, though, it showed something else. He wasn't scared anymore. But the death of his best friend Laddie Tipton hurt him more than anything else. The battle took place in France near a farm. 2 Germans waved a white flag to show that they were ready to give up. Tipton took a step forward. They killed him right away with a gun. Inside of Audie, something went wrong. He went straight at the Germans, took their machine gun, killed 6, hurt 2, and captured the rest. He kept shooting until no one moved. He wrote, "I do not stop firing while there is a quiver of life left in them. Not just getting back at them. Felt like sadness, anger, and just getting by." It changed as the war went on. Other people got weaker, but he got stronger. He was no longer scared of bullets. Police said he was the best at figuring out how dangerous something was. Soldiers around him looked up to and feared him at the same time. He didn't talk much and didn't get mail very often. He was no longer just a soldier. Besides warmer, he had changed into something else. He turned down the army's offer to make him an officer. He didn't want to leave his guys behind. He turned down a raise because he didn't want to make his tired unit do drills. Malaria came back once more. He was in the hospital several times. He kept going back to the fight even when he was in Sicily, Naples, and March 1944. He and 60 other guys from Company B got the Combat Infantryman Badge on May 8, 1944. For those who had been through the worst, it was an honor. But Audie couldn't fix what the war had done to them with a badge. On January 26, 1945, near the French village of Holtz, a 19-year-old soldier named Audie Murphy stood between his fellow citizens and death. Company B, his unit, was almost completely destroyed. Only one day before, 102 of the 120 guys had died. There were only 18 people left. Now they were up against 6 German tanks and 250 enemy troops. The ground was cold. They couldn't even dig holes. There was nowhere to hide, no one to fall back on, and no real hope. Still, Murphy wouldn't back down. The moment that should have finished everything then came. Right next to Murphy's spot, a German shell hit the M10 tank destroyer. It went up in flames. The group gave up on it. The fire was getting bigger quickly. A normal person would have run away, but Murphy climbed on top of it. He stepped into the line of fire, grabbed the .50 caliber machine gun on the tank, and began firing. He kept going. 3 groups of Germans fired. There were a lot of bullets, but Murphy didn't move. Pieces of metal hit his leg. He kept shooting. With one hand on a field radio, he ordered artillery hits, and the other on the machine gun. For 1 hour and 60 minutes, he fought by himself, setting off bombs and killing enemy troops as they came within 10 yards of him. Private Anthony Abramsky, one of his men, looked on in shock. He added, "I expected to see the whole damn tank destroyer blow up under him any minute, but it never did." Murphy had killed or hurt about 50 German soldiers by the time the smoke cleared. He stopped a whole enemy attack almost by himself. Once their infantry backup was gone, the tanks had to go back. His own men were shocked. They thought they saw him die, but what they really saw was something else. Something that didn't look like a person. Murphy was hurt, worn out and covered in blood. But when his men moved forward to finish the battle, he did too. From the front, not the back. Later, Abramsky said it was the bravest thing he had ever seen anyone do. When Audie Murphy was 21, he had done something that no one else in American history had ever done. He had 33 medals from the U.S. service. Not for all your life. During World War II, every award for bravery in battle that was available at the time. He had all of them. The Distinguished Service Cross, the Medal of Honor, 2 Silver Stars, 2 Bronze Stars, and 3 Purple Hearts. The Legion of Merit was one of his awards. And that doesn't even include the war ribbons with many battle stars or the medals from France and Belgium. He was a Knight of the Legion of Honor in French. They gave him 2 Quadre awards. He didn't show off the Quadrigar 1940 palm that Belgium gave him. He gave away a lot. Now, the new ones are in a museum in Dallas. Then there's 241. The number that stuck with him forever. That's the number of enemy forces the U.S. Army said Murphy killed. Some guesses are even bigger. Up to 250 if you count the people he killed by calling in weapons. He didn't want to talk about it, though. A reporter asked him how they knew the number, and he just said, "I don't know how they know. I forgot to keep track. Tell me not to." Someone else asked him what it was like to kill so many people. "It didn't feel either way," he said. Being able to feel wasn't a luxury in the army. He never talked about it. It might have made him feel heavy. He said once, "The only thing I've ever found I was any good at was war, which is a terrible thing." When his picture was on the cover of Life magazine on July 16, 1945, everything changed. That picture of a young, freckled Texan man, 21 years old, made him famous right away. On July 4, 1945, James Cagney saw Audie Murphy on the cover of Life magazine. He saw more than a war hero. He saw what could be. Murphy was named the most decorated fighter in the picture, and Cagney felt something about it. He got Murphy to come to Hollywood, signed him up for his production company, and told him that he would have a new life in movies. But things went wrong very quickly. The Cagney brothers never gave Murphy a single part, even though they had a contract with him. In 1947, they broke their deal because of a fight. Murphy stayed at Terry Hunt's athletic club while he was stuck in Hollywood. He wasn't sure where he fit in. He once said that the movie business didn't feel real like the war. Things began to move again in 1948. He got a small part in Texas, Brooklyn, and Heaven for only $500, which is about $7,000 today. That part wasn't very exciting, but it was the start. Murphy went on to be in more than 40 movies and one TV show over the next 20 years. Behind the scenes, though, he was quietly sad. He didn't think he had what it took. He told a reporter from San Antonio right before he died, "I had one hang-up as an actor. It wasn't my skill." He told the truth when he said it. Directors knew I had made the same movie 20 times. I told them. It was simple but not good. His words were sharp enough to cut through the Hollywood glitz. Murphy didn't want to be famous. He was still alive. Then came Hell and Back, the movie that would always be associated with him. Came out in 1955 and was based on his own story.